At probably around midnight, they would be able to start sending out crews in Kenner. And again, there is no stranded residents of Kenner. The flooding on the North Shore, almost in terms of everything that we've been dealing with, is a little bit more on the lower end, but still significant as that water has piled up in Lake Pontchartrain. The rivers on the North Shore have nowhere to drain, and we are still expecting a fairly significant amount of rainfall accumulation through the overnight and really not ending until closer to daybreak tomorrow morning. So they have another several hours to go of heavy rainfall, and that water just cannot drain. So we're expecting many locations along the river to reach either moderate or major flooding. So when will things start to improve? They already have for folks along the coastline and into the city. Winds are still strong, but they have been settling. Rain moving north through the overnight. It's on the North Shore now. Continue pushing into southwestern Mississippi. Winds have been settling and will continue to do so overnight, and it will be a much quieter day on Monday. So we are seeing that improvement begin. It is a slow process, and I wish this storm would move at a faster clip, and it just has not been doing that. So this is the midnight update, I believe, that has come in. So let's take a look at what the new information is at least down to a Category 1. So that is at least a little bit of good news as we start Monday and now leave August 29th behind us, which for us, a day which will live in infamy. Winds are down to 85 miles an hour. The motion is now due north at 9 miles an hour, and we have continued to see that pressure increase. So the storm is weakening. We're not finding that wind field nearly as large as it was, still very strong. And again, for a time, we had a Category 2 hurricane moving into basically Hammond. It's absolutely incredible, and it's just amazing that this storm has been so slow to weaken, despite the fact that it made landfall over 12 hours ago. That is unbelievable that we are still dealing with a Category 1 hurricane. Thankfully, it has weakened some, but we are still dealing with a Category 1 hurricane even this far after the landfall earlier today. This again, conditions are starting to improve for many, at least in terms of the immediate impacts from the storms, wind and rain. The surge always takes much longer to recede, and of course with the power outages, that may be something that has to that will be dealt with for a much longer period of time.
From WWL-TV, this is continuing coverage of Hurricane Ida.
Thank you for joining us for our continuing coverage of Hurricane Ida. This storm is, of course, bringing national attention. I'm Sheba Turk, and thank you for joining us. We are replacing our overnight crew now.
That's right. Good morning, Sheba. I'm Leslie Spoon, and CBS News correspondent Omar Villafranca has been in the area tonight and brings us a report.
Ida is slamming southeast Louisiana, packing triple-digit high winds and torrential rain. The Category 4 hurricane made landfall midday near Port Fourchon. 40 people decided to ride out the storm in Grand Isle, defying a mandatory evacuation order. Officials have received multiple calls for rescues.
Obviously, first responders cannot get to you, so those folks are just going to have to hunker down.
This morning, hurricane hunters flew their plane into the eye of the storm and caught this stunning picture of Ida building up strength. On the streets of New Orleans, last-minute preps came down to the wire.
I'm just afraid that this may be another Hurricane Katrina.
16 years to the day after Katrina's devastation, Mayor LaToya Cantrell says her city is ready.
Now is the time that we have been preparing for.
Ida is the first stress test of $14 billion in upgrades to the levee system.
Will it be tested? Yes. But it was built for this moment.
Here on the south shore of Lake Pontchartrain, we are seeing heavy winds and waves that are already splashing over the wall.
The threat from Ida's wind, rain, and storm surge is significant.
We're projected to potentially reach 15 to 20 inches of rain over the period of today and into tomorrow, at times exceeding a rainfall rate of 3 inches per hour.
And conditions are expected to worsen with nightfall.
We're going to ride it out. We'll see what happens.
Once the storm passes, there's another concern, the pandemic. The city is considering opening up the convention center for a shelter, but they're worried about spreading COVID. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, New Orleans.
Hurricane Ida is still dumping rain across southeast Louisiana.
We've recently been getting reports of evacuations in certain areas. Here's Jade Cunningham with some things you need to know at this hour.
12:04, and here is a look at what you need to know as Hurricane Ida is causing several emergencies. The National Weather Service says more than 200 people are stranded in Lafitte and John Lafitte. They are in imminent danger after a levee failed, and everyone is being asked to seek higher ground. The area is currently seeing flash flooding. An emergency evacuation order has been issued for parts of Plaquemines Parish. Authorities are telling everyone in Jesuit Bend to leave immediately. The levee was breached somewhere between the Oakfield floodgates and the Alliance refinery. If you are there, if you are in Jesuit Bend, you are being told to evacuate immediately. And now let's take a look at the boil water advisories currently in effect. The entire East Bank of Jefferson Parish needs to boil their water due to a loss of pressure. Meanwhile, in St. Charles Parish, a precautionary boil water advisory is in effect for the entire parish due to a number of leaks in the system. All St. Tammany utility customers need to boil their water in St. Tammany as well. And in Terrebonne, everyone east and south of the Gulf Intracoastal Waterway need to boil their water. Well, you can follow our coverage of Hurricane Ida on our website and our WWL TV mobile app. Back to you guys.